Emotions are a psychophysiological reaction caused by our bodies or environments. Since the beginning of human history, emotions have played a big role in human communication and expression. These are responsible for artistic creativity such as music or paintings, just as they are capable of provoking negative actions that have led us to war. Emotions are unpredictable, and there is no doubt that they can pose a threat. But what if we could suppress our emotions? Would we live in an ideal society, or would we lose that which makes us humans? Today, we're going to take a look at the story found in the film Equilibrium. Equilibrium tells the story of John Preston, a man who has dedicated his life to the service of his government and society, a man who was in charge of persecuting, arresting, or executing those who break the law. John lives in a post-World War III future. The film tells us that a Third World War almost caused the extinction of the human race, so scientists developed a method to eliminate any possibility of future conflicts. They created a type of serum called prosium that suppresses human emotions. In this world, they maintain total control. The government also banned all artistic expressions that could trigger emotional responses in people. There is a scene in which they burn the Mona Lisa. Also, colors are prohibited, and all people must dress the same. This inexistence of emotions leads the protagonist to murder his partner after finding him reading a book. After a certain sequence of events occurs in the film, John stops using the serum and begins to experience for the first time in his life negative emotions such as sadness or empathy towards animals. He then understands that emotions are necessary for being human and alive. John also realizes that he does not live in an ideal society, but rather in a totalitarian dictatorship. Although this is a science fiction movie, we can apply much of it to our own reality. But what if I told you that there exist different methods designed to control you emotionally so that you do not become a danger to society? You might think that in reality there is no such method designed to suppress emotions like in the movies, but it is only necessary to observe, just for a moment, a collection of books or magazines found in any store to understand the level of emotional manipulation that exists in our present-day lives. The books on motivation and positivism are the most sold around the world. It is not surprising that authors of this type of literature have so much influence in our society. Take for example the book titled The Secrets. This book proposes that it does not matter what situation you are in, if you have a positive attitude and you wish for something with all your might, the universe will conspire in your favor, and in the end, you will get what you want. But just wanting something doesn't mean that you will get it. Just look at the countries with high poverty. According to the supposed law of attraction, if you want something deeply, the universe conspires in your favor. Nevertheless, the universe doesn't conspire in favor of thousands of people who die every day from starvation. The biggest issue about these books is that they are created for the people that avoids confronting their negative emotions, thus creating societal problems. Companies often send their employees to positivity training, which leads millions of people into believing that if they think negatively, they will be miserable for the rest of their lives. That if they demand something from their president, or if they complain about their working conditions, the universe will lead them towards a miserable life. That instead, they should accept everything negative that happens to them as if they were something positive, and in the end, everything will be worth it. They should not criticize their government. Do not question why they have such bad working conditions. Just think positively, and the universe will compensate them. This is a system of emotional manipulation that benefits companies or the government that have submissive employees waiting for the universe to conspire in their favor. Negative thoughts, sadness, frustration, and even anger are emotions provoked by the unconformity of society. They can lead us to seek change within our bosses or governments. That is why they send us to workshops where they can suppress our negative emotions, similar to the treatment serum in Equilibrium, creating a society of happy sheep on their way to the slaughterhouse. Currently, There are many different pills created to tamper with the emotions of people. People who are not satisfied with their work or living conditions will develop depression, but instead of facing the issues head on, they end up taking antidepressants, reading books on positivity, or go to seminars. In recent years, the number of people using antidepressants in the world has doubled. It is said that 1 out of every 10 Americans uses these medications in order to be productive at their jobs. When watching the film Equilibrium, we might think that a total emotional suppression sounds like something fanciful. But when we see what has become of their society, and how they're being controlled so they do not think negatively and not fight against anything that oppresses them, it doesn't seem like an ideal world after all. It is not a bad thing to be positive. We should have a good attitude in our day-to-day lives, but we should not ignore our emotions when something makes us unhappy. You must question the books that tells you to focus on your desires and to only think positively, and that by some magical way, the universe will conspire in your favor, suppressing your criticism and changing them by forcing a smile. It would not be strange to think that in the future, all negative emotions can be suppressed through seminars, classes, or medication, leading us to a future similar to that in the film. Tell me what you think about Equilibrium. Do you believe that a future similar to this movie is possible? Day by day, the freedom to express negative emotions or criticism seems to be more displeasured in our society. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, assume nothing and question everything.